Chantal Cook, and I'm with Martin Bett, the Chief Executive of Stingray Geophysical, to discover how the FOSAR seismic PRM system is helping oil companies improve their reservoir management strategies. Your strapline is listening with light. What exactly does that mean?
It's a reference to our core technology. Basically, we've developed passive fibre-optic seismic sensors. Seismic is about measuring sound that's travelled through the earth, and we do that by shining light into an array of these seismic sensors and looking at the reflections that come back, and that allows us to measure the seismic properties of the earth, hence listening with light.
And why would you choose to do that with light rather than, say, an electrical system?
It really comes down to one word, and that's reliability. Fibre-optic systems are several orders of magnitude more reliable than the electrical equivalents, and that's important when you're deploying a system for the life of a reservoir, which could be 20 years or more. Another advantage is that they're actually smaller and don't require any electrical power. Now, this makes them a lot easier to install on the seabed, and it also means a smaller platform space on the surface infrastructure. And all of that is driving down the cost, particularly the through-life cost of permanent reservoir monitoring, and helping to create the market.
Now, 4D seismic reservoir monitoring is actually quite a well-established area, so why would an oil company choose to go for a permanent system?
Again, it comes down to simple economics. It depends how much oil is left in the reservoir and how many surveys the oil company thinks they're going to do over the remaining life of the reservoir. If they're going to do 2, 3 or more surveys, then economically it's much more beneficial for them to put in place a permanent system. Having a permanent system also has some other advantages, because you're able to actually go in and acquire data almost at will and get what the oil companies would like to call seismic on demand.
Now, a permanent system is installed on the seabed. What do you think some of the other advantages of seabed installation are?
Well, the first thing is that because it's installed into the seabed, it's a lower noise environment. And they're permanently there, so there's less error in terms of the location of the sensors between surveys. What that means is that we can detect smaller changes going on in the reservoir, so that oil companies can better understand how to produce more oil from them. Second thing is we get valuable shear wave data from the seabed installed system. The shear wave contains extra information about the lithology and the rock properties of the reservoir, as well as allowing us to separate pressure and fluid effects in the reservoir, very important in terms of managing the correct drainage of a reservoir. It also means that it's less attenuated by gas, by salt, or by very deep reservoirs, so we get better signal to noise with a seabed installed system. You also can steam closer with a source vessel than you can with a streamer vessel, so there are less occluded areas excluded from a repeat survey when you have a permanently installed system.
Since there are so many advantages, why is it that the PRM market is really only just beginning?
I think the industry has been waiting for reliable and cost-effective systems. Optical systems are enabling this, and that's why it's happening now. Telecommunications industry realised this about 30 years ago, and they've replaced all of their copper cables with fibre optics, certainly for long-distance transmission. And we're learning and building our systems based on the experience and the components that the telecommunications industry have already proven. Finally, I think it's about having companies in place who can deliver a complete solution. It's not just about the equipment, it's not just about seismic acquisition, but it's about planning and installing the systems as well. And that's exactly what Stingray is here to do.
And specifically with your FOSAR product, what do you think the main advantages are?
Apart from being geophysically a very good system, being reliable and being incredibly scalable, that we've got a number of advantages. One of the characteristics of all optical systems, which deliver the reliability, is that they suffer from what's called overscale. That means they get a very big impulse direct from the air gun, and this causes the system to overscale. Now, we've come up with a unique solution to this called Oasis. It enables our system to have a very high dynamic range, in excess of 180 dB. This is over 1,000 times better than competing systems. So we can measure the full signal coming direct from the air gun. Secondly, we use a very small number of fibres in our systems. And this not only drives down cost because fibre costs, but it also means that we can connect the system in real-world environments, either with dry or wet make connectors that are readily available. Makes installation on the seabed very, very easy, even in depths up to 3,000 metres of water. Third thing is I think we're very competitive commercially. Again, because of the advantages we've already described, it means we're very cost competitive, and we have a very good warranty on our system that is backed by an internationally recognised major engineering company. So we can stand behind the reliability and the durability of our system.